The rains are finally here. The jade grain trees and the happy trotting parrots are a sight for sore eyes. On Colors of India this week, we have for you an array of bright and happy stories. Here are the main ones. Heritage walk across Delhi. The end of a long tapasya. And Kathi rolls, Calcutta style. Delhi's proposed nominations to the World Heritage List is making waves. So many different emperors have ruled and so many dynasties formed in our capital. And this is exactly what we have going for us, the unique heritage and culture. The city of Delhi has many untold stories in every corner of every street. The Archaeological Survey of India has as many as 173 protected monuments on their list from Delhi alone. And here we have an enthusiastic bunch of Delhiites who are out on a mission. They are here to explore every nook and cranny of this city, but all by foot. One area at a time, Delhi by foot, an initiative started by Asif Khan and Ramit Mitra, explores the many historical streets of Delhi. The Sufiana and Heritage Trail focused on Basti Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. Our first stop was at the Urs Mahal, a historical building where the annual Urs celebration of the Sufi saint Hazrat Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia and Hazrat Amir Khusro are held.
Idea how we believe we are different from the others is that it's not completely history. If you would have noticed that we were adding some elements of what is the essence of the place, shairi, who lived here, not just dates, not just the names, not just the kings or the rulers who came and went. Because Delhi has like scores and scores of kings. You can't remember all of them. You may not be interested. If I would have been interested, I would have been reading history, looking at archaeology. Okay, but I want to give everybody else a sense of what Delhi was.
Atop the magnificent entry gate with a vantage point view of the Basti and the Mahal, Asif helped brush up our high school history. He spoke about ancient Delhi, which functioned as the capital of 7 different dynasties, the architecture which dates back to those days, and the heritage which is still intact.
दिल्ली वालों को दिल्ली के बारे में नहीं पता। इवन अगर किसी फॉरेनर से पूछें तो उसको ज़्यादा मालूम होगा। हम देखते हैं उनके पास मैप्स होते हैं, उनके पास बुक्स होती हैं और वही दिल्ली के बारे में लिखते हैं। जब तक की जिम्मेदारी है कुछ ना कुछ करना, तो मुझे अपने शहर के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए। मैंने ये वॉक्स ऑर्गेनाइज़ की। अगर सबको इन जगहों के बारे में जो है पता चल गया, तो यहाँ पे जो है ये मतलब जो अनवांटेड जो लोग हैं यहाँ पे, वो लोग उसको ऑक्यूपाई नहीं करते हैं।
When the walking continued, we found ourselves taking to smaller lanes, and lo and behold, bang in the middle of a tightly inhabited area was a red sandstone structure with well-preserved Persian blue tiles on the walls. The 16th century Mughal tomb of Aga Khan.
Today we are doing this Nizamuddin walk. Everybody in Delhi would know the place, I mean, Nizamuddin railway station being so famous. But then, now that I'm here and I've seen a couple of places, I really find all the details about what the Prophet Nizamuddin Auliya was all about, his disciples and the history as well.
The monthly walk schedule is all available online. Come rain or hail or shine, this group continues on their expedition, and what is interesting is that it is not just walking. They have interesting narratives and history, well researched that too, which adds to this journey. Let's continue the walk.
Leaving this behind, we moved on to the Bauli of the Dargah. More stories exchanged, and we were finally ready to head into the main Dargah. Lit up with many lamps, with burning incenses adding to the scent of jasmines and roses, prayers in the form of raised hands, green chadars, threads and whispers filled the air. A meaningful culmination of the day's expedition.
So if you are interested in knowing more about this city that you live in or is visiting, then I'd suggest you take a walk. Now let's go over to an art exhibition. This is a rare concoction of art, music therapy and spiritual harmony.
Splashes of colors hits your senses the minute you enter Melodious Hues, a group exhibition of evolved artists. Look deeper and you notice a sense of peace and tranquility in each of these paintings. Artist Sanjay Soni's depiction of the serene face of Buddha speaks of human compassion and harmony.
पहली बात यह है कि आज सुकून ना गायब होता जा रहा है, जो शांति है वो ख़त्म होती जा रही है। हर आदमी सुकून सभी चाहते हैं। तो मुझे लगा कि, और क्योंकि मैं खुद भी मेडिटेशन करता हूँ, मैं डेली मेडिटेशन करता हूँ, तो मुझे ये एक नया रास्ता नज़र आया क्योंकि मैं अपने माध्यम से पेंटिंग्स के ज़रिए लोगों तक वो सुकून जो मुझे मिल रहा है मेडिटेशन करके, मैं चाहता हूँ घर घर में पहुँचे।
Artist Rakesh Singh attempted to touch the inner self with a deep emotional sense. On his canvas, the artist has tried to explore the intimate relationship between the body and the mind, presenting himself very turbulently. Fellow artist Roop Chand intertwined music with his cheerful paintings in an effort to express the wonders of musical therapy.
कुछ जो मेरी पेंटिंग्स हैं इसमें जैसे कुछ एक साधु सन्यासी दिखाया है मैंने, उससे रिलेट किया है रियल लाइफ से। तो उसमें सब कुछ वो छोड़ छाड़ के एक जो है अपना एक शांति के पथ पर और एक इस तरह से आगे की तरफ बढ़ते हुए, तो उसमें कुछ
आज की दुनिया भी दिखाई है कि वो छोड़ के तो चला गया, लेकिन उसमें आप जो फेसेस वगैरह दिखाए हैं, कुछ मॉडर्न एब्स्ट्रैक्ट का, कुछ ब्राइट कलर्स वगैरह इस तरह देखे हुए, लेकिन उन सबको पीछे छोड़ता हुआ वो आगे की तरफ बढ़ रहा है।
Suresh Kumar, the last of the 4 artists, found his artistic thirst quenched by depictions of childhood innocence. Suresh also drew parallels between the sturdiness of a horse and the strength of a woman in his bronze and black marble sculptures. Melodious hues truly inspired.
Rightly named Melodious Hues, this exhibition rejuvenated, refreshed and healed. But we'd still like to take a small break, so Colours of India will be back in a jiffy.
Coming up, the end of a long tapasya. And roll them on Kolkata style.
Welcome back. For the students of dance who have been doing their tapasya for so many years, what they look forward to is their Arangetram, the day that they make their first stage appearance.
In Tamil, Aranga means raised stage and Atram means climbing. Honouring the Guru Shishya Parampara, Mallika took the blessings of her Guru, Kanaka Srinivasa, and commenced her Arangetam, a ceremony where the Shishya performs for the first time in public.
Change is the only constant thing in the universe. So improvisation, gives more depth and brightness to the dance form. In case of Bharatanatyam, like a lot of dancers, very prominent dancers like Yamini Krishnamurthy and Rama Vaidyanathan, they've come up with their own. They've improvised on the very dance forms on the items that already existed, and they're very famous now. And the audience has really accepted that kind of change improvisation. So I think it's welcome.
It is a part of the traditional format of Bharatanatyam where the Shishya is tested for her talent. Mallika, training since the age of 10, performed in the Varur style. As his norm, she began with an invocation, Pushpanjali, seeking the blessings of the Lord, her Guru and the spectators.
Mallika should continue with greater passion, and I always tell my students, as long as you feel that you're enjoying it, don't give it up. That the enjoyment itself will take them to greater extent and longer period. So the enjoyment of dance must come from within. So if that is there, they will never lose it.
In her Varna, Mohanam, Mallika danced as a love-struck Naiga who wonders whether her lover Lord Shiva will ever come to see her. Accompanying her were her Guru Kanika on the Natravangam, Sri Keshavan on the Mridangam, Sri Raghuraman on the flute and Srimati Sudha on the vocals.
For any dancer, the Arangetram is a very, very big event. And to do it with such confidence, with such elan, to be so graceful on stage, to enjoy the performance, it takes a tremendous amount of effort. And I think she's really, she's cracked it.
Next, she performed Nadana Marindar, an Ananda Tandavam based on Rag Basant Bahar. This was followed by a Padam, where the Naiga, though immersed in thoughts of her beloved Krishna, forgets his face. The piece required her to portray expressions of love and the pains of separation, which Mallika well delivered.
Like a caterpillar transforming into a beautiful butterfly, this was Mallika's first step into becoming a professional dancer. Now, going back to the topic of heritage, the Japan Foundation recently organized a 3-part exhibition which focused on the same theme.
When you mention Japan, the image that comes to mind is that of the high-rise buildings, streets buzzing with activity, unbeatable technological advancements, and the traffic. But in this photography exhibition, Gifts from the Earth, Japan was shown in a different light. The stunning natural beauty and the cultural heritage of Japan was what this exhibition focused on.
As the name suggests, World Heritage is a heritage of the world. It's a heritage of everyone in the world. And Japan also has a lot of world heritages. But I'm kind of guessing that those heritages, world heritages in Japan, are not so well known here in India. So we've got these photo panels this time, so fortunately we hope that we can also show what kind of world heritages we have in Japan.
The jade green terrain on the sacred sites and pilgrimage routes in the Ku mountain range and the cultural landscape that surrounds them were also a visual treat. Some of these temples have a close connect to the Indian style of architecture owing to the exchanges hundreds of years ago.
When we think about the relationship between Japan and India, obviously we have a very strong influence from India in the past, like in ancient times when the Buddhism was first introduced to Japan, and through which that we have developed so many cultures. One of the examples obviously is a temple, that structure. All of those philosophy was actually brought from India, so that those heritages we have today in Japan is actually showing how strongly we are connected culturally with India.
Yakushima, with its 2,000-year-old cedar trees, was a mist-clad vision in green. And the Shirakami Sanchi in northern Japan was all about the spectacular flora and fauna. The island district of Ogasawara, 1,000 kilometers from Tokyo, has unique living creatures seen only in this region.
Heritage is this legacy that we can pass on to our future generation. In understanding it, we can better accept the past and learn to live with the present. Now it's time for us to take a small break. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a jiffy.
Coming up, 34 Chowrangi Lane.
Welcome back. On Food Trail this week, we bring you the flavors of Calcutta, 34 Chowrangi Lane. Stick around to find out more about this address.
When you think of rolls, you think of Kolkata, the hub of roll makers. And when you think of Kolkata, sitting right here in Delhi, the first roll corner that comes to your mind is 34 Chowrangi Lane. Well, for students and for professionals alike, this roll shop is the one-stop shop for all the variety you'd ever need among rolls. So let's see it to believe it. The journey that began 6 years ago with the idea of dishing out something not so ordinary for the taste buds of the average Delhiite ended in a chain of outlets eventually. 34 Chowrangi Lane rolled in the idea of serving kathi rolls. The expertise brought in from the bylanes of Kolkata to the streets of Delhi, served with a touch of the flavors of northern India. When you thought of coming up with rolls, you thought about it because your childhood was primarily spent in Kolkata and that is where you got the taste of having tasty rolls?
Growing up in Calcutta, rolls was one thing that we had as often as we could, and so once we moved to Delhi, we thought it would be a good idea to open the rolls, bring the taste to Delhi. Though we didn't want to say Calcutta style rolls anywhere, we didn't want to mention that. Therefore the name came about. We thought because 36 Chowrangi Lane was a movie, people would instantly connect with the Calcutta connection.
A takeaway corner in the bylanes of Karol Bagh, this little roll shop is a revelation every bit. What you get here are lip-smacking non-vegetarian and vegetarian kathi roll treats like egg keema roll, chicken malai tikka roll, double mutton roll, paneer roll with chaat masala, the list rolls on.
Number one, it's easy to get. Number two, it's within their budget, everybody's budget, because we sell for 50 rupees and it's a full wholesome meal. And once you eat one roll, you are through.
While the variety is endless, the most interesting sight at 34 Chowrangi Lane was to witness a scene, a 12th standard student and the owner's son actively participating in the entire roll-making process. Kneading dough, making parathas, you name the task and Asim is eager to lend a helping hand. The youngster even has plans of taking up roll-making as a serious business soon.
I'm 20, I complete 20, then I'll manage all the outlets by my own. I have Pusa Road, which I'm handling on my own, but I'll be having all the outlets after some time.
You can dig into the fabulous and fulfilling variety at half the cost. For instance, one unending chicken kati roll costs just 50 rupees. And the roll, well, it equals a full meal. Egg chicken roll. 26 spices, special sauce. No wonder one simple egg chicken roll in 34 Chaurangi Lane makes it stand apart. It undoubtedly is my favorite.
Now, if you have any interesting food ideas, do write to us through our Facebook page. I will see you next week. Until then, take care and goodbye.